strengthened by wartime profits, made in both the United States and Europe, General Motors emerged from World War II, twice as large as it had been before the war. In 1952, Charles E. Wilson, then president of GM, was recruited by President-elect Eisenhower to serve as Secretary of Defense. In order to win the Senate's approval, Wilson sold his $2.5 million of GM stock. However, this was a minor share of total stockholder equity that exceeded $2 billion. At that time, DuPont held a 23% interest in General Motors. A half-dozen other stockholders held smaller, but significant blocks. These other interests decided to combine their holdings into one larger estate, rather than fragment their holdings into weaker voting blocks. For simplicity, let's call this combined estate the Dowager Estate. Their intention was to deed it to a younger group of the post-World War II generation. In conjunction with the group from Wilmington, the Detroit group hosted the formation of a hierarchy comprised of children from this younger generation. The design was to transfer the combined holdings as an entailment at a later date. To create this hierarchy, the selection process was conducted in a manner similar to a spelling bee. Out of thousands of participants, a small group of 24 was finalized. With one parent present with each child, agreement papers were signed. I remember the event as taking place in small groups, in the glass door conference room in downtown Detroit. At the time that the process was completed, the Dowager Estate was worth $342 million. However, more was added later. In the 1957 case of the United States versus DuPont, the Supreme Court ruled that DuPont must give up its large stock interest in General Motors. Afterwards, I remember attending a second signing with my father, at which an additional $150 million was added to the Dowager Estate. The total estate was now very large. However, it still represented only a minority interest in General Motors. What became of it? To the best of my knowledge, no one that I knew ever touched a penny of it. Some asserted that it made no sense to transfer that much wealth to a group of children. Others contended that the process was merely a scheme to move this large block of shares under the voting control of a hidden trust. Furthermore, there are those who claim that the Dowager Estate was used as bait to identify, and then to marginalize, those children who later in life may present a threat to those with an opposing agenda. Personally, neither my father nor I fully trusted the plan. As a result, I have remained very cautious about discussing any of the details over the past half-century. However, as Chapter 13 bankruptcy has made the old General Motors stock virtually worthless, I have decided to step forward in an effort to clear up this mystery once and for all.